and welcome to the Friendship in Stupidity podcast. I am your guest, Andy, and with me, as always, the co-guest,
Isaac.
It's been a while since we've done that.
It has. It really threw me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Did you forget that we're guests?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I completely forgot. One thing I wanted to point out, Andy, is I gotta move the army man for a second. And for those who don't watch the actual video, we have like little things on our desk. On my side is an army man. We have 2 drinks right now. We decided to make a rum and coke tonight. Mine is considerably less full than yours.
That's really funny. I didn't even...
Yeah, let's say. So for normal glasses, I'm probably at 25% right now. Andy's probably looking at about 75.
Yeah.
We've had a bitch of a time trying to get this. Actually, I shouldn't even say we. Andy's having a bitch of a time to get this episode to work.
I can't remember when we had, like, the first time we had an issue with the recording, but it was very early on. It may have even been like episode 2, and I was just sitting here. It was like 30 minutes, and I had even said, like, I want to come over really early so we can get it done so I can get back home because I was cooking dinner, and ended up sitting here for 30 minutes just to finally get the recording to work. And now we basically did the same thing, except this had to have been longer.
It might have been longer. And I don't know if we could replicate it again.
Of like
the solution.
Of like why? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so if you're watching this, you might notice that I have the blue mic. And
Yes.
Isaac has the red mic, and
Yeah.
it's usually opposite.
Correct.
For some reason, I think the cord might be fucked up a little bit. I'm not really sure why.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like I unplugged from the mic, and I'm being very gentle. I don't want to touch it. I unplugged it, and then just jammed it right fucking back in there, and it started working again. And then when I've moved it over to Isaac's spot, it stopped working. So we're leaving it here.
Yeah.
And we're letting things go.
Who the hell knows what's happening? Fuck if I know.
I think I was about maybe a minute away from being like, we're going to have to just do this next week, and it'll be a pain in the ass. But during that whole thing, I had this drink here. I didn't drink a single thing because I was trying to get this thing fucking figured out.
And I just finished mine, so we'll see how this goes.
So
I made it an Isaac pour.
Yeah.
Which usually means hefty. But it didn't taste too much like rum, so I feel like we're fine. I haven't eaten since lunch though, so
that's gonna make it
that
a
might
little rough.
That might do the trick on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But during that whole thing, I was just sitting there watching videos, being completely not helpful to Andy.
Well, you were researching because, as always, we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah. So then the whole entire time, I'm just watching dumb shit on my phone, and like Andy can just hear like the random noises, and then I would randomly just rear back and just mouth agape.
Yeah, you
like
you wouldn't make a noise. You just like,
yeah, yeah. It was, or if there was a noise, it was just a like it just it never. I get too trapped in just watching dumb shit, and so the most recent dumb shit that I've been watching, and this is, I don't know if you've ever seen this. I don't even know how long we'll talk about this, but have you ever seen professional slap fighting? Or professional like slapping.
I think I have like clips of it.
It's incredible. it's incredible. I'm getting drawn into it.
So this is like your WWE.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
So in professional slap fighting, you slap someone, and then is the goal for them not to flinch or move or something?
So my basic understanding of watching clips of this sport is you get like, I think there's like 3 rounds you get. Maybe more. I can't really remember. But what your objective is to pretty much, I think they rate the slap somehow.
Okay.
I don't understand how they do that. Like whenever it comes to a tie, I don't understand that. But the main objective is to knock the other person out with just a slap.
What?
Yes. It's just to knock the other person out with a slap. Because what they'll do is they have a pool noodle that they'll hold behind their back, and they have to stand in a square. Okay, this little tiny square, no bigger than this table that we're currently at right now. And they'll hold the pool noodle behind their back so they can't like flinch up their arms or anything or cover their face. And they have to sit there, and they also have like cotton swabs in their ears so they don't get fucking blasted or they like bust out their eardrums. And they have to sit there and just take a slap. They'll usually call out their slaps. They'll be like on 3, and that means they get 2 pumps, and then that last pump, that's when they fucking crack them.
Is it like, do you ever see like when they get the palm in there too? Because like the whole point of a slap is just to get like the fingers.
Oh no, they get the whole thing. They get the whole hand.
Well, like if you use the palm, that's basically like you're not doing. I know that, but sometimes if you miss a slap, it'll be like a punch.
That's what they do.
Okay, so it's like
they want as long as your hands are like that, they don't care.
Well,
that as in like think of a mannequin hand altogether.
Right.
Like that's what I'm doing. But as long as you're getting smacked right in the side of your cheek, your face cheek, mind you.
Yeah, right.
You're that's
what if we did professional ass slapping instead?
You won't get the satisfaction out of it though. I mean, some might. Some might.
I think like there are times whenever I've slapped my roommate on the ass, and like it either makes like a good noise or it just falls flat. You know.
Oh yeah, those are really bad.
Exactly. So that's how you can rate it.
Well, yeah, but this is at least getting rated by if the guy falls on his face or not. Guys and women.
I've only seen the ones with women, actually. I haven't seen any of the male version, but
all of them are brutal.
You said like they're rated, so if neither of them like pass out, if neither of them get knocked out,
it goes to a decision.
Is it like a do you think like categories are like the noise it makes?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. That's got to
be something that they take into account, because there are some that like even when you give someone a high five, sometimes it just like it doesn't make that good noise.
Oh yeah, and then some of them, like I mean, you'll see like some of them they just got such a good pop sound to it, and then some of them just sound like a dud. And then it's always the really bad whenever you see somebody slap the other person and you go, that wasn't very hard, and then they get fucking rocked, and you're like,
yeah,
I think you guys are in 2 different categories right now, because like I've seen too many episodes where it goes like that, that's whatever, and then the other one's like a fucking like it just cracks, and I'm like, oh my god. I saw one video.
It's like cruiserweight and heavyweight, or like super heavyweight,
yes,
like boxing,
literally. Like I've seen so many now where it's just people are just getting lit up. I saw one person get smacked so hard that they obviously got knocked out, but whenever they got knocked out, instead of falling backwards like they normally do, which they have people to catch them, they immediately fell forward, smacked their face off of the table, and then fell back. Which then they do have pads on the table too, so it's not as bad, but still literally went smacked in the face, smacked their forehead off the table, and then fell backwards. And I was like, oh my god.
That had to have been some selling there.
No, they were completely knocked out.
Oh my god.
Snoring the whole time. Like that's
insane
brutal.
That you can knock someone out from just a slap.
I'll show you videos, Andy. I'll show you videos, Andy. And you're like, those aren't slaps. Those are full-blown punches.
I feel like this is actually a good idea. Maybe these are the videos that we react to.
Oh, I would love it.
That's perfect.
I would love it, because you saw my reactions just there. I was like, I love doing that, because whenever it's like a try not to laugh thing, I'll be like, bet. fucking bad. And then I ended up laughing just because it's really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's the really dumb shit that gets me. Like the things that's not even funny, that's what makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But those ones, I always react. Like if I had water in my mouth, it'd be everywhere because I'd be like, oh, yeah, like
It wouldn't even spit it. It would just go, what?
Yeah, exactly. Just on my lap. Like I can't help it, especially with those slaps because they're brutal. But see, if I was doing it, I've already thought about it and I already fantasized about it. If I was doing it, I think what the fuck did I do to the mic? There you go. I think what I would do is that first, if I feel like I got a good enough chin, I don't think I do to take a shot. Like I'd probably get knocked out right away. But if I started off, I'd crack somebody at half
Before
power.
you start, do any of the men have beards?
Yeah,
Okay.
they got some hefty beards.
I recently heard a stat or some sort of like history that the reason why men can grow beards, well, some men can grow beards, is because they're like an ancestor was a warrior, and a face with a beard was, I think it was, if you didn't have a beard, it was like there was a 75% chance that you'd like break your jaw by a punch, and then with a beard, I think it was 50%.
Because there's like cushion. Is that
Yeah.
what they're trying to say? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so I was wondering
I don't know how much cushion that
if
is.
having a beard when you get slapped. Yeah, I don't think it's like that big of a.
Yeah.
I think it might just be coincidence.
Yeah.
That,
Like,
like,
I don't know.
Yeah, because
I've
like
seen-
some people have weak jaws.
Yeah, that would be me. Like that's what I mean. Like my plan wouldn't work because I'd get knocked out right away. Because
So what's your plan? Is it that you said half slap first?
yes, do like 50% on that first slap, just to tease them, and just to make them think like this guy's a joke. This guy's an absolute joke. And then they obviously would slap you. You got to be able to take that hit again. You're like, okay. You know, if you hit them first, that's a good thing because all you got to do is just take one shot. But on that second one, that's when you wind up, Andy.
Yeah.
That's when you really fucking crack them right in the face. Because then they're going to be like, I know what I'm expecting. This guy's a bitch. All I got to do is like, all I got to do is tense up like half because he's weak and then just unload.
Why don't they just have like this but punching each other? Like it's boxing but you just stand there. You can't block it. Because it's basically the same thing. Like you're just trying to knock someone out.
See, and I think this is where I think I have an answer to that. The sound. Because you already have that sound in like fighting like UFC or boxing where like you get a clean punch and it's just done. Smacking though, that's a clean one-hit sound. Like I don't know. I feel like it's. I don't know. I mean, they already have like they got a lot of stuff with punching though. So like slapping's different somehow. You know what I mean? It's like again, it's that sound. I
feel like you can kind of get away with it because you're like it's not as it's not as painful or like you're not like there's less likely for you to really get injured by a slap or a punch. So like
I don't know, man. You should see some of these videos,
right? But I feel like that's like that's a good sell of like. You're not going to get hurt as bad, I guess, from a slap than
do you know
a punch.
That there's more deaths in boxers than MMA fighters?
So, boxing you can only use your fists. Can you use your feet or no? That's
nope.
Okay,
that would be MMA, a different sport.
What do you mean?
If you would be able to use your feet and fist, that would be considered MMA.
Okay.
And then if you're only using your feet, that would be kickboxing.
Right. So you can like more people die from boxing than MMA.
More people have died
like
as a
in
boxer,
the ring, or just like
in the ring, probably yes, but just in general, more boxers have died from boxing than MMA.
Well, it's two different types of training, so that's why like whenever people go from boxing to MMA or vice versa, they always have like a huge struggle, from what I've heard. So I would assume that boxing is probably more like physical.
Yeah, and it's also the rounds.
Okay.
Because the
Is
most
there 6 rounds of boxing?
maybe like I don't know the highest they go up to, but it's upwards of 12.
Okay.
12 rounds of
12
I think
rounds,
like
that makes sense.
3 to 5 minutes, which is absurd. Like boxers are in incredibly good shape, and then MMA you're probably getting 3 rounds at 3 minutes, and then it's a title fight would be 5 rounds at 3 minutes.
Have you watched any of this, like boxing or MMA?
Yeah. I don't watch boxing too much because there's like 1,000 different titles. Like if I tried to look up right now
I know
a boxing like championship, there's probably 18 to 20 different titles that a boxer can have in a weight class.
Interesting. How does that make it interesting?
I don't know, but that's like people are like, I am the heavyweight champion of this, but then there's like 5 other titles they can get, and then it's like a big deal when they have all of those titles because
they're all like sponsored titles. It's like I'm the Jimmy John's heavyweight champion.
Exactly. And then but whenever it comes to MMA, if it's like UFC, then they have like welterweight champion. And then it's like that is your weight class, you're the champ in it. That's like it's different from boxing, but boxing also has like a shit ton of weight classes. MMA doesn't. Which
does this interest you at all? Like, do you like watching?
Yeah. No. I really like watching it. I really like watching it. Boxing really intrigues me because there's a lot of technique in it, and it's just wild. MMA is just nuts.
I think we talked about this before, but not on the podcast. It was we were talking about some guy that was in like incredible shape for either. It was probably MMA. I feel like people in MMA are in better shape generally.
Oh, for sure.
But it's is it the like heart? They're heart stopping. Do you think that's what it is for boxing? Because like they're just using so much of their energy and they just like can't do it.
I mean, I'm sure it's a bit of that, but it's probably also just trauma to the head. Because you got to think, I mean, they're taking a lot of hits. I mean, overall, like you're getting choked out, punched, kicked, whatever for MMA, but I think it's a lot of just repetition of just getting blasted, and I'm sure it is just the amount of rounds because they're putting way more mileage on their bodies.
When they go to the ground and then you can go down, like just start beating the shit out of them.
You can go down on a guy, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. I love that.
I got you too excited. Sorry. What was your question?
I've seen people. They instead of punching, they go like with their forearm. How is that legal? Because like that's gotta hurt a lot to the head.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like
it depends. It depends on if there is somebody on another person's back, they can't strike from the back with their elbow, like to the back of their head. Okay. Because at that point you could literally just kill somebody. Yeah. But if they are, I believe if they're on their back and they're like trying to guard, you can fully fucking elbow them like nonstop. You just can't. There is like a weird rule apparently to MMA where you can't like strike directly down on someone's head. It's like it's called like the 12-6 rule or something. Where if you do that, because
that could probably break their neck if you go hard enough.
Yeah, but and then there's a bunch of other like weird rules. I don't think you're allowed to actually like if you're on the ground like kick up at anybody anymore. No, I thought that was a rule, but now I think I'm maybe mistaken. I mean, there's a lot of different rules, but yeah, I mean that's legal just because it's a part of your. I don't know. You could do it. Doesn't matter. Same thing with knees. Yeah. Why wouldn't you be able to use your knees?
Well, in boxing, I thought you can only. I guess like you're allowed to knee, but you can't use your feet. Is that how it goes?
No, in boxing, you can only use your hands.
Okay. So we kind of switched over to.
Well, you mentioned boxing.
Yeah, but you can't use your knees in boxing.
No.
Why? Yeah, I was thinking that like whenever you get someone down when you're boxing them, you can get. Can you go down and?
No.
So I'm thinking of MMA.
You're thinking of MMA.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just get
mixed up. If you see people in shoes and long trunks,
right? Yeah.
You're thinking boxing.
Yeah.
If you see people in short, tiny gloves, no shoes, MMA.
There's something weird about seeing people not wearing shoes or socks and fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. It's whenever you see them get clipped by a toe. I think that's the weird part. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
someone's walking around in shoes all day and they just got fucking clipped in the face with a foot. Just oh.
That guy that got clipped, he was walking around all day and not thinking he'd ever get slapped in the face by a foot.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna. A toenail's not gonna slice my my face up at all. That'll be fine.
That's got to be such a disrespectful way to get cut.
Yeah.
I don't like. How'd you get cut? Well, like, I guess it's weird because like if someone asks you and they know you're in like UFC, they're not going to be like, oh, how'd you get cut?
Yeah.
But imagine if it was just like someone sees you and like, well, what happened to you? And they say someone cut me with their toenail.
I would be yeah, but I got roundhouse kicked in the face. Like I don't think you should lead it with I got cut by a toenail. Like you just need to tell me I got fucking rocked by a kick. But then I totally beat the guy's ass afterwards. Gonna make it sound a little bit more tough.
Guy. Well, what does the other guy look like?
Yeah,
he beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
know. He left before I woke up. Yeah, like he just kind of left me in the dirt and took my wallet. I don't know. He's probably pretty distraught though.
That'd be even worse if you got robbed, and that's how you got robbed. Was like they kicked you in the face and cut your face open.
If I got kicked in the face and someone robbed me, I don't even know what I would do when I woke up. Honest to God, I'd be so out of it.
They probably earned that.
I mean, probably, yeah, absolutely, they earned it. Fuck's sake, just getting your foot up that high.
Yeah,
honestly, like, oh my God. And actually thinking of, I don't know why we're on the topic of like
feet.
Well, no, I mean, like, I guess it was just sports and like contact sports and whatnot. I was gonna say, have you ever seen kickboxers or like Muay Thai fighters get in shape? Like, I'm thinking of like people in like Thailand and stuff, like how they train their legs. Andy, you're gonna be disgusted. So obviously, there's kicking a bag. And you're getting your legs ready for it, whatever. Sorry, I just realized my volume was on. I think it's the first time that's ever happened. One of our phones have gone off. Yeah, you probably didn't even hear it. It just probably didn't get picked up.
It happened like when we were recording separately. It happened with my phone because it was my computer still had like the dinging noise.
Oh yeah.
And you called me out for it, and I didn't even call you out for this one.
I called myself out. Yeah. But so how people train in other countries to get their legs hard, gotta get your leg hard and their shins hard. You know how they'll train them? They kick trees.
I have seen that.
Yeah,
I have seen that.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
Yeah.
What happens when they kick a tree and their leg breaks in half?
It heals up stronger. Have
you seen that happen?
Somebody kick a tree and break their... I mean, I'm sure it happened.
Yeah, it's had to have happened.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they kick... I'm going to say this. I'm sure they kick softer trees. Some of them don't, but some of them probably do kick a little softer
hard
trees.
As shit on just like a redwood tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine I don't want to get kicked by somebody like that.
No.
If I saw somebody kicking a tree, I actually knew somebody who did that.
Who kicked trees?
Yeah. To get his legs strengthened up. Shit you not.
Why?
To get him strengthened up because he saw that that's what they did. And so he would do it.
Was this in high school?
No, this was actually one of my brother's friends.
So he was a kickboxer.
He just enjoyed fighting in general.
I just like kicking trees.
Yeah, he just enjoyed martial arts and stuff.
Well,
like
I'll tell you what. So he was into something.
Yeah, he never did like formal training.
Okay. Well, that makes it better. So he gets into a fight and he just starts kicking people with his titanium shins.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna throw people off. If as soon as there's a couple things that I think are true. I've never been in a real fight.
Mm-hmm.
I've been punched before.
Mm-hmm.
Never been in a real fight. I think if you start just like doing flips or like you get into a fighting stance, like not just like you're defending yourself kind of thing, like it's coming,
mm-hmm.
but you could do like the whole like what you're doing where like you start like kicking. Game of like that's an immediate like you got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
The other thing is taking your clothes off.
Yeah.
I think you take your clothes off, no, like they're not going to want to touch you.
You mean like full clothes?
Like full stark naked, have your ass hanging out.
Yeah,
balls. Yeah.
No one's going to want to touch you at that point. Yeah, you're a freak.
I mean, you want to get out of there though.
Yeah, I would just kick him in the dick.
I think that is something that you don't think about in the moment. I also don't know if anyone really, like, is that fight or flight? Like, that's not like
to
you're
kick
not
someone in the dick,
no,
or
no,
just
getting
like take
naked. Like
fight.
Is that fight? Like,
Yeah.
you're taking your clothes off.
I imagine what I think of it is, I'm thinking of it as it's like a pufferfish. You know,
That's like your defense mechanism.
exactly, because if they puff up, another fish would be like, I ain't doing this shit, see ya. So if someone starts taking their clothes off, that's probably like that's them puffing up their chest.
So that's so it's fight, flight, or pufferfish.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Okay.
Is that the name of this episode?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I've also have never been in a fight before, but I don't even know if I would really want to fight somebody. I think I would just like wrestle them to the ground.
Well,
if anything.
yeah, you're in that company of like you wrestled.
Yeah, like
like that's your physical like.
Yeah, I would just take them to the ground.
Well, I mean that's just as good. Like you don't even have to punch anyone. Like, you get someone to the ground and like don't even like punch him. You just get him down. I think that's enough.
That's demoralizing.
It is.
Yeah, if you can't get up, you're it sucks.
Yeah. So like all you have to do is just like grab him around the waist and like around the arms and like take him to the ground and
I think
and
I
then
would
you
just choke him out. Yeah.
and then you either choke him out or you just hold him and you're like, are you gonna do this? Like,
yeah,
is this what's gonna happen?
We're gonna be the guys on the ground right now. Like, this is what you want me to do. Like, you want to be the guy on the ground? Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The I think the only time of like I can't really call it a fight. I was in elementary school and we were out during recess. We were playing football and I went up to someone and I can't remember what the reason was, but I was like fronting on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I didn't push him or anything. I just like was fronting on him and was like, what's going on? And then he just like went real quick, like boom.
Damn. Didn't even give you a second.
No, and then like I just like stumbled backwards and like I fell into I stumbled for a long time. Like it was like a cartoon. like why are you still falling? And then I fell into like the playground.
Uh-huh.
And then he came over and he was like started apologizing. He's like, oh man, I don't want to get suspended or whatever, because like that's a suspendable offense, you know. And I just remember that I wasn't crying and I was really proud of myself for that. But I also didn't care. Like, he was one of my friends. I was like, you know what? I deserved that. I was totally all up in your face.
Yeah. Let me see. I was trying to think of any times I've been hit or anything before. I think there was one time, actually, speaking of my brother's friend, I held up a pillow for him because he was just kicking and shit, and he just wanted to show off like his skills or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I held up a pillow and he fucking kicked my head. That hurt.
He's got titanium ankles and shins.
Yeah,
I'm sure
he fucking did a couple punches on the couch pillow, and then he did a kick and he just fucking caught me right in the side of the head, and I was like, and I just like fell into the couch because I was like, jeez. And then there's only been one other. Let me see. I don't think I've been punched there. No. I've been close to almost punching somebody before. And it was actually a friend, and it was because we were drunk. So I came very close to ending my friend that night. I will say that, because should I just tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and do you think you've ever done anything that's, well, okay, so there's two questions. Do you think you've ever done anything that would have ended a friendship? Like, do you think if you punched him, it would have ended the friendship? Or two, do you think you have ended a friendship over something and you don't know?
For the second one, I feel like that's a little bit easier for me to answer. I mean, both of them not too bad. I don't think I've ever ended a friendship like that, like in like a bad way without me thinking about it. I think I've had a few friendships just like fizzle out just because you just talk to other people. So I've had that before, but I don't think I've ever least I don't recall doing anything like that before to end something. And then for me punching him, no, I don't think that would have ended it because I think we would have easily. I had 4 other guys there to be like, yeah, you were annoying as shit that night. Like,
I without naming who it is, like I know who it is, so like I feel like that wouldn't have like he's gone through way more from like other people in the friend group, so like I feel like a punch in the face by you would have just been like a wake up call.
Exactly, it'd have been like a holy shit, out of all the people to hit me, it was him. It was Isaac. I definitely agree. Yeah, because it was one of those nights where you're out drinking with your friends and just you have that one friend who just he gets too handsy. You know what I mean? Where like someone's always just fucking slapping your shoulder and just wrenching on your shoulder, and you're like, can you not just step off for a second? That just happened a little too many times, and he was just kept getting up in my face and was like he was having a great time, and I was like, yeah, cool. And he just kept fucking slapping my shoulders, just kept getting right in my face and just saying dumb shit. And I was just like, you gotta cool it, dude. You gotta relax. And he just it's so belligerent that he didn't even care, just kept going. And we got like halfway back. We just walked back from a bar, and we got halfway to the bar, to the house we were walking to. And he just kept doing it. And I was like, dude, you got to stop. You're annoying me, man. Like, just relax. And the last time he just was like, oh man, you're just joking around, eyes. And he slapped me on my shoulder that one last time. It just takes that one, you know what I mean? And so that's how I just reared back, just so I dead stopped. All of us, so there was 4 of us? 4 of us walking. I stopped everyone dead in their tracks because I swiveled around so fast and I lifted my hand up in the air. I was like, if you put your hand on my shoulder one more time, I will fucking drop you right here in this street. I swear to God. And I just stared at him, and everyone just went silent, and they just were like, Jesus Christ. And I just turned around, kept on walking, and the one friend was like, oh my, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And then, and then one of the other friends just came up to me. He's like, you really fucking meant that, didn't you? And I was like, absolutely. He goes, I know you meant it. He goes, I would have been right on your back, bud. He's like, you'd been fine. He's like, I would have told him you deserved it. He deserved it, and we would have got on with our day. I was like, good. It was good to know that, like, that was like validated that, like, it wasn't just me being like having a bad day or something. Like, he was just being so frustrated. But it's the closest I've probably been to hitting somebody.
There's some times where you do that. You're like, you do this one more time, and I swear to fucking God, I'm going to just deck you and lay you out on your ass. And then they do it. They just like, they'll say something like, fine, I won't mention this anymore. And then you're just like, is this a test?
Yeah, you tested me.
Is this, yeah. And then they say, "Oh, you didn't actually do it." Like, and then I'm just sitting there like,
yeah, exactly. You know, you just get that tingle. You're like, I'm gonna fucking rock you, bud. Yeah. You know, that's like I said. I've only had that one moment where I was about to rock somebody, but I don't know. It's just not me.
I'm such a non-confrontational person that I feel like I've never been in the situation to like actually want to fight someone. So I don't know if I would actually.
Well, see, that's kind of a good thing, like a good segue, because we brought this up before. We've kind of talked about this before in a different light, and I think as soon as I kind of go into it a little bit, you'll understand where I'm going. We talked about like with our, I almost called them neighbors, with our roommates. With our roommates, we've talked about before about like
I don't know why that was so
I don't know. But like talking about like just like defending them or something. And we've had the conversation because it's been brought up before. It was like, I just felt like the guy just couldn't protect me. And you immediately said, well, if somebody took my roommate's purse, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm not chasing after him. Like,
you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, that's gone.
If
it's gone, I would just be like, that sucks.
If someone robbed, like, we were just like the two of us were walking downtown somewhere, and they just robbed us.
Like, I'm gonna put the scenario now. Came up to you, no weapon was pulled or anything. Literally just grabbed the purse, started yanking on it. What would you do?
Well,
would you get them free of the purse and then just let them take the purse?
If it's like they're struggling to, like, so she wears a purse like around her, like
say it's the one day that she has it on her shoulder.
Okay.
And they go up, grab it.
But is it like
it's an initial tug, and then the second tug is either going to be them breaking away from it or you going after them and stopping them?
Well, if there is like some sort of tug of like, and I'm like, most of the time I'm like right next to them, so like, you know, I would try, but then like the second I see any sort of weapon, I'm like, cheers now, dude.
I'm going in.
You're going in.
I'm going in.
No, I'm not afraid, but like I'm afraid, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
There, like, if my life could be in danger in any way, I'm not gonna risk it.
I get that. I mean, I literally, I totally get that. I mean,
think there was one situation where, and this is kind of off topic, but still in the same vein. There was one situation where I was living in Kent. It was at my first apartment, and I woke up and I heard something like downstairs, and I was the only one home. It was like the only time where I was like, I like grabbed something to like, and then I walked around the house like that. Like I didn't just like sit in the room and like wait. So like, I don't know. I think that's like the situation where I would defend myself there, because I think I think I saw somewhere that most of the time people that are robbing a place are going in unarmed, because like they don't want to be like, if you kill someone while you're robbing the place, like you're gonna like you're fucked.
Yeah,
like you'd be better off just robbing the place and then whatever.
See, I'm like the typical white person that goes towards the danger, and I usually, like, if I hear a noise, I fucking get up immediately and I yell, "Who's there?" in my loudest, like, deepest voice possible. Because then once they see me, they're like, well, this guy's a fucking joke. So like, I gotta scare them with the voice. But like, I just had something the other day where I had a dream that I'm laying in bed, and in my dream I wake up and I'm like, well, that's weird, whatever. And I kind of like lay back down, because I'm always tossing and turning in the night. And then when I lean, like whenever I like kind of like tipped over on my side, I looked out into our living room, because like our doorway is right there to the living room, and I could see the side door. And as I was looking at the side door, I heard like a click sound, and I was like, what the hell is that? And I slowly start to see like the lock on the door start to slowly like turn like this. And then like I just see it slowly turning. And then as soon as it clicks like that, I see it slowly like start to slide open. I shoot up from like sleeping, fucking smack this end table, because like I literally like
so you actually woke up at this point.
I woke up at that point, fucking smacked the end table, looked where I was at, got down, grabbed the weapon that's beside our bed, fucking whipped open the door, and was like out there.
So your door was open. It was closed.
It was closed, but in my dream I thought it was open. So then I like whipped the door open, looked, and then I was like trying to get my eyes like accustomed to the dark, and then I saw that it was locked still, and I was like, holy fuck. Like I was like, it went from sheer panic to holy shit, someone's in here, and I immediately grabbed it, and I was like, let's go.
I have a baseball bat that's a replica of Lucille from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
There's something I would absolutely love to beat the shit out of someone with that, because it's not just like a hollow bat. It is fully plastic, and I've been hit in the head by it before. Yeah. And it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, if someone ever like broke into my house and I had the opportunity to use that, god damn. Like I'm getting them, like I'm hitting them in the head. They go down, and then I just like start going into the whole Negan thing, like you fucked up, son. And then I just start beating the shit out of them.
I have a hammer,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm using the pointy side, and
Uh-huh.
I'm baseball batting that bitch like into someone's side
Uh-huh.
for sure. Yeah, like
That's the like if you get hit by a hammer and it goes in, you're just like it goes into your thigh, like you're immediately like going like, oh my god, and then like if you're able to like take it out and like you just keep beating it, like you got him.
oh yeah,
You got him in that first swing.
oh yeah, like
for sure.
It seemed so absurd because we were like, we don't have any weapons, and like now we have more. Like I don't want to say all that we have, but like at first that was like our go-to, and my roommate thought it was the dumbest thing ever. She was like, a hammer? I'm like, yeah, a fucking hammer. It's gonna hurt. I'm like, that's a safety hammer right there. Like that's perfect. Because I picked it up the other day and I was like, bitch is lighter than I thought it was. And I was just like, yeah.
But it's easy to swing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to put a wrist strap on it like a Wiimote.
I was thinking that. I was like, in case it does like come out of your hands, like it's still there. So like if someone like knocks it out, they're like, it's still there, and then you just like
damn right, yeah. I got that wrist strap on, boy. Like I played Wii
like
Sports. Come on.
like a hidden blade.
Yeah.
You just like
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'm making sure that the bitch isn't flying into the TV. I'm ready for it.
It's so random, but like that just like unlocked a memory for me. I was playing Wii and I didn't do that, and I absolutely just yeeted that thing right into the wall, and it shattered that like the sensor part on top of it.
I accidentally threw it into my TV. Like you'd always see like on YouTube. But it didn't crack. Like we had a really shitty TV, so it actually hit like the bottom part of the TV when like TV still had like the speakers in the bottom of it and shit. Like I literally like wung it right into it and it smacked off that, and I was like, it just was like pure shock. And then ever since then, it's just like it's a fear of mine. So I always have to wrist up. Like
Yeah, you're still doing that when you're playing Wii.
Yeah. If I play Wii, yeah.
When was the last time you played a Wii?
Probably about 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a lot more recent than I was expecting.
Yeah. Get shit on it. I don't know what to say.
All right. There is what else was I? It had something to do with Wii. Hell.
No. How long have we been going on with this one?
This has been 42 minutes, and I just remembered what I was going to say, and we can edit here. There was, we grew up not having like flat screen TVs. I mean, like everyone did. That was our age. But there was one Black Friday that Joe and I, my brother, we were like, we're gonna get this big 40-inch TV, and like we're gonna have it for the basement where we play games and whatever. And we got the TV, and I think it was like a couple years that we had it or whatever. And Joe was an airsoft guy. He loved having airsoft guns. Like he just collected them, whatever. He had one just like sitting on the couch, and like they were just all over the place. So I was just like, whatever. I picked it up, and like this is the prime example of like for like real guns, like don't leave them out because something's gonna happen, even though they're like a lot less dangerous. Like very much. I just picked it up. Didn't aim it at myself. Like I know I'm not stupid. Like even if it was loaded or whatever, I just picked it up and I was holding it like this, and I pulled the trigger, or I just like barely like touched it, and it just shot right at the TV.
Yep.
And then I turned the TV off, went upstairs, and that was it. And then it was like a couple hours later, Joe like turned the TV on, and it was like there's obviously like a dot like where the pixels had died. But it didn't like shatter, it didn't spider web through the whole screen. And he called me down, and I was like, walked down there, he's like standing at the TV. He's like, what is this? What's this? And I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember how he got it out of me, but eventually I told him. I was also planning on getting a new TV anyway. So it was like, okay, I had to pay for all of it because I had done that.
Yeah.
And the TV still worked. I ended up putting it in my bedroom, and I played on it whenever I would go home, and eventually it just went like blue. You could still play on it, but like the screen went blue and like you could see everything. So it was like playing underwater. So I'd play like Fortnite on that, and it's just like the worst kind of quality. I'm like, and the best part was I didn't have a real good mic, which I don't know.
You don't. You don't say it hasn't changed. Yeah. Are you still using the same one?
Yeah. I was using headphones like for an iPhone. I was like plugging it in, and it made the worst noise. It like made a really like shrieking noise whenever you would talk. So I was using that, and like everyone would hate me. All while I'm still playing, like I'm playing on this underwater TV as well.
Just imagine they're in the storm. I can't see anything. It's the same
what
color.
Storm? Yeah. What do you mean?
You're in the storm, Andy. What are you talking about? Everything's the same color. It's the most absurd thing. Well, I don't want to go too far, but I got airsoft stories, Andy.
Yeah.
I got airsoft stories, and I also have BB gun stories I can tell.
Okay. Did you shoot your eye out?
We'll have to find out, Andy.
Oh.
We'll have to find out because wasn't the most safe things.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's for another time.
All right. I didn't know where this, I had an idea for the episode since this is the last episode until 2024. I was going to talk about our resolutions that we had made for ourselves.
Let's not.
I actually ended up listening to last year's episode today. I was listening to it to see what our resolutions were. There's a lot of funny stuff in there that like we've kind of like talked about. Like weirdly enough, like things just kept coming up. Like we didn't repeat stories or anything, but storylines, I guess you can call it, just kept coming up. Namely porn. Like that's something that just like that
hasn't changed.
Yeah.
has not changed. Literally 2 to 3 episodes ago does not change.
Well, this is a weird, like, we just did the year anniversary of podcasting, and then like this is like I want to say like this has been a really good 2023 since this is the last episode. So like it's a great 2023, even though like we just did like thank you for supporting us and everything. But again, thank you for supporting us.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun. We say it a lot. We're not gonna just like stop doing this because like this is not only just like fun to do, but it's a great reason for us to hang out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's
possibly some change of scenery too.
Yeah.
In our set, which may toss a wrench into things, but that's a later issue.
Yeah.
It's a later issue.
We'll get it all figured out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in 2024.
Oh, spicy.
Hot.
I'll show you.
You are about 0.5 seconds from the roommates busting in and telling you to shut the fuck up because it was time to eat.
Yeah.
You should have. That would have been funny.
I couldn't decide if you would think it was funny or if you would be pissed off because I was seriously going to walk in and say, hey, are you going to shut up sometime today?